particularly for Seagulls and the home team. Downright inhospitable through the years for the Rockies, but things of late have changed. Behind what has been a dominant bullpen, the Rockies have taken the first two in San Francisco. A multitude of Colorado arms have tamed the defending world champs. And the series exclamation point came in the 8th inning last night with the catch. Nolan Arenado's sprint, grab, and crash became an instantaneous all-timer. Tonight, the Rockies look to grab 3 in a row in the city by the bay. Baseball is next. On this day, 68 years ago, Jack Roosevelt Robinson broke the color barrier in baseball. He became a pioneer not only in this sport, but he became a pioneer in the United States. And we all honor Jackie Robinson today, and I think it's one of the many great things that Bud Selig implemented during his tenure as commissioner, that on this day everybody would wear number 42. And with that, we welcome you into AT&T Park on another gorgeous evening. The Rockies trying to sweep the Giants. The defending world champs have been held to just one run, that on a late sac fly that snapped an 18-inning scoreless stretch. Tim Lincecum, the two-time Cy Young winner, will be on the hill, and the Rockies will counter with a lineup that has produced runs with great frequency, and even last night scoring 4 runs here. Not an easy accomplishment for most teams. Charlie Blackmon has got the average up to 281. He's been very hot with the bat. Here's the rest of the Southwest batting order for Walt Weiss tonight. Book your low fare now at southwest.com. Cargo will bat second. Mr. Double, Troy Tulowitzki, will be third. He leads the league in doubles with 7. Morneau, Arenado, Dickerson. Mike McHenry, the only change. He'll do the catching. He's caught Matzik quite a bit in Matzik's young career. DJ hitting .516, will bat 8th. Here we go. And Lincecum's first pitch misses ball 1. And that is the fastball at 88.
Yeah.
You don't see 94 and 95 anymore with Lincecum.
Well, and that was in his prime when he was winning Cy Youngs back in 08 and 09. He'd throw that hard fastball 95 and then come back with the split change to get you off balance.
And it's one of the best pitches we've seen in the last 10, 15 years. But it used to have about a 10 or 12 mile differential. Now that the fastball's backed up, it's only about 6 or 7 mile an hour difference. There it is right there. And you see 88 to 82. It used to be, as we said,
right,
94, 95 to 82.
So it doesn't have that scare factor if you're standing in the box. Now, he'll still throw the arms and legs and drop that arm way behind him and throw the leg up high and try to deceive you with his motion, but the ball coming out of the hand is not as fast.
One, two. And it's the changeup again. He'll double and triple up on that changeup.
And with that changeup, because of the differentiation you said about it, you can still sit on that splitter. You don't have to worry about, he's going to blow a fastball by me.
Second appearance this year for Lincecum. 7 shutout innings in San Diego. When he goes breaking ball, it's 3-2. It almost doesn't count to evaluate Tim Lincecum what he does in San Diego. He owns the Padres. He's thrown a no-hitter against them each of the last 2 years.
He threw 145, 149 pitches in that no-hitter.
So it's 3-2 on Blackmon, leading things off again tonight. And he misses ball 4. And that's been one of the issues with Lincecum of late. It's why one of the reasons he lost his starting spot a year ago. And this is what we're talking about. Look at the graph. 2010, 2011, still his average fastball in the low 90s. And it keeps dropping off, 89.6 last year. So the disparity between the changeup and fastball, what we were saying.
And even in his last start, if we would take it out just to the one start for this year, it was at 87. So it is trending downward, but the margin is smaller between the fastball and the changeup. But you can see graphically how that happens over time. And in pretty much any pitcher, you're going to go down some in velocity, but for Lincecum, it's quite noticeable.
Cargo at 277 lifetime average against Lincecum with a couple of home runs. Lincecum, a four-time All-Star. Pair of no-hitters, the 08 and 09 Cy Young Awards, 3 rings.
Well, from 2007 to 2010, Tim Lincecum was 56-27, a .675 winning percentage. But from 2011 to now, he's below 500, 7 games under, 45-52.
Two strikes on Cargo. Hector Sanchez again doing the catching. He was behind the plate last night. Buster Posey is playing first against Matzik. Brandon Belt will take a seat.
They took all the left-handers out of the lineup. Belt, Crawford, Blanco.
2-2. They were loaded up naturally with lefties yesterday. Two pulled foul. Pass.
That's up EY.
EY.
Eric will go behind Charlie, let him know. He'll anticipate a ball in the dirt. He's already given him the pop times, how long it takes for Lincecum to release the baseball and reach home. Never been real quick to home.
Well, he has the unique delivery that he learned from his dad, who studied biomechanics. And there goes the runner, and it's on the ground.
Keep going,
short.
Charlie. Keep going.
There's no one. Stu Cole is trying to get him to keep coming.
and Charlie
was no one within 30 yards.
No,
of
and Charlie
base.
was hitting his head. Man, I got to look for that, because there was nobody there because of where Duffy was playing. And Sanchez stayed behind home. Now just watch when Charlie gets to second base, okay? He goes sliding in, but if you think about that and pop up, he would have beat Sanchez to the back, because Buster would have had to try to hit a moving target.
So an RBI out there for Tulowitzki. The Rockies yesterday got 2 in the second, added a run in the fourth, and 1 in the ninth inning, and winning 4-1.
That was close. I mean, the inside move that hardly ever works. Charlie was getting his secondary. He's taking off. Well, put the brakes on and get back.
Brian Fuentes had a great inside move.
Jack McDowell was another one that had a good inside move.
Ball 1 on Tulowitzki. Troy last night 1 for 4, a double in the first inning. The 7 doubles lead baseball. Rockies have hit .325 with runners in scoring position, which is second in the National League to the surprising Atlanta Braves. They're hitting .333 with runners in scoring position.
Tulo even higher, 444, 4 for 9. 4 for 9.
1-1.
That was a slider from Lincecum.
Backed up.
He'll still throw that 22% of the time to hitters, but he likes his fastball and his split finger.
Tulo pulls it down the line, diving stop at third, and Troy's going to beat the throw. Good effort by Matt Duffy that saved a run. In fact, Blackman had to just stay at second base. So a base hit for Tulowitzki, and that'll bring up Morneau. Here's the defensive alignment for San Francisco. Aoki's in left, Pagan in center, Maxwell. Justin Maxwell gets the start in right. And it's Arias playing shortstop tonight. Joe Panik, Buster Posey, Hector Sanchez. Joaquin Arias playing for Brandon Crawford. Third start for Arias this year. High ball one on Morneau. Remember that ball Morneau hit in the game last night to dead center field that
yes.
Pagan caught against the wall? And we thought, man, he looked like he got all of it.
Right.
Well, everybody we talked to, he got all of it. It just, the ball wouldn't go anywhere last night.
Well, and then
it hurt Buster Posey, fortunately, also.
Yeah, and that's what I was talking to Charlie Blackman about. Because I asked him about the Posey ball. Did you think he got it? He goes, no, not after the one that Justin hit. Charlie said he moved in a few steps because he said if Morneau couldn't hit it out, there's no way anybody else was going to because he clipped it.
Well, the first two games, there hasn't been a home run hit here. On the corner, spotted that fastball. It's 1-2. Two on and one out. And now Lincecum steps off the back.
See if he goes off speed. I say that because pitchers, when they don't have the grip, sometimes will step off the backside of the rubber.
He did go off speed, and it's fouled back.
Because they don't have that comfort. If it was fastball, because most pitchers will go into their glove with the fastball grip. Now, we've seen some, maybe a Bruce Sutter, all those guys that were throwing the splitty and are only in there for one inning would preset it. But other guys will set the fastball, and then as they're trying to get the grip, they don't get it, they'll step off.
But Lincecum very deliberate here in this first inning. Rob Manfred's going to send him a letter. We got a strikeout for the second out on a fastball. And that'll bring up Nolan Arenado. Lincecum in his career has averaged 9.43 strikeouts per 9 innings.
That's fourth on the all-time list.
Only Randy Johnson, Pedro Martinez, and your good friend Nolan Ryan have averaged more strikeouts per 9 innings with a minimum of 1,500 innings. Sandy Koufax, number 5. If you're ahead of Koufax on any list, you're doing something right. And a curveball for a strike on Arenado. Nolan's phone absolutely blew up after the game, he was saying today. And he had to do quite a few interviews today. Did them all with a smile.
I said, how many did you get? He goes, I don't know. I lost track. It's somewhere between 80 to 100 text. And to everyone in the ballpark, everybody I've talked to, you've talked to, they said this is one of the best catches they've ever seen. And to have the wherewithal to come up and throw from his knees and almost get an impossible double play.
Walt Weiss made a great point about the catch. Unbelievable because you're running away from the field. You're running full tilt. Also, factor in where you are with the wind swirling here. This ball's driven left center field and deep. Did he catch it all? You bet! How about a little follow-up on offense for Nolan Arenado? 3-run first inning jack. Oh, I can swing the bat also.
On an 0-2 pitch. Home run number 3 for Nolan. Well, last night we referenced that he struck out for the first time in a ball game. Sitting 0-2 doesn't matter to him. Gets the hanger, and boy, does he deposit it over the wall in left field. 79-mile-an-hour slider.
You know, he went down. That was actually on the fourth strike zone below the knees.
But that's okay. Nolan can do that. And what'd you say a moment ago, Drew, that there had been no home runs hit in the first 2+ ball games? Well, not anymore.
Not anymore. First home run of the year at AT&T Park. What a special talent. 3 home runs, 10 RBIs now to match the guy at the plate, Corey Dickerson. Takes a strike.
Follow his head as it goes down to the barrel. The slider starting to drop, but he drops the head and the shoulders to reach that pitch. Just a thing of beauty.
Dickerson lays down a bunt. It's going to go foul. Trying to take advantage of the shift.
And that's not just for tonight. That'll be for this weekend against LA, at home against San Diego with the advanced scouts for Corey.
Well, you'll get an infield to move a little bit and adjust. Because on the scouting report, we'll lay down a bunt.
We'll lay down, and they'll tell the third baseman that.
1-2 on Dickerson. Now in a tie for the National League lead in ribbies with Arenado.
How many of these RBIs have come with 2 outs?
And how about with 2 strikes? We know that both home runs that Dickerson has hit have been with 2 strikes. Not this time. Good start for the Rockies. Nolan Arenado strikes again. Not with the glove, this time with the bat. 3-run bomb in the first inning against Tim Lincecum. Three-run home run to give the Rockies the early advantage. From Brad, is there anything Nolan can't do on the field? Not sure. Haven't found anything yet, nor have his teammates. Tyler Matzek's on the hill for the Rockies. He's been staked to that 3-run lead. That's Nori Aoki. He is one of the few Giants who's had success offensively in the early going. He brings a 17-game hitting streak into the ball game. Here's the Southwest Airlines lineup tonight for Bruce Bochy. Matt Duffy will move to the 2 spot. Angel Pagan's been in that 3 spot, and then it's Posey, Maxwell, Hector Sanchez, Joaquin Arias. Joe Panik drops down to 8 in front of Lincecum. Well, this park should give Matzik a good feeling. Not only, as we all know, it's a great pitcher's park, but Tyler pitched well here last August. Beat the Giants 3-2, went 7 innings, allowed just 2 runs.
August 25th, you feel comfortable on the hill, and the problem that Tyler had in his first start, he was fantastic the first inning, and then after that he had trouble locating either his fastball or his slider. So we'll keep an eye on that early in this game. Does he get the release point on the slider? Can he throw it for some strikes?
Looked like a miss, and Matzik drills Aoki in the back. He had that issue in his first start. He had it with Anthony Rizzo. He plunked him twice.
Both times trying to come inside, just an inside strike. He squares him up in the middle of the back. Wanted to go down and away. I mean, that missed by 3 feet.
Hit there, it'll knock the wind out of you.
You're gasping for air as you're laying on the ground, making sure everything's intact.
Here's Matt Duffy. Mike McHenry doing the catching. And he has caught all but, according to Mike, he thinks 2 of Matzik's starts in his career.
Well, it's also a chance to get him another start with tomorrow being an off day before you go into L.A. Kershaw, Greinke, and McCarthy Friday, Saturday, Sunday for L.A.
Yeah, give Nick Hundley 48 hours of rest. He's done a terrific job so far. 1-1 on Duffy.
Tyler has threw 84 pitches in just 4 innings in his first start.
Yeah, Bergman had that issue last night. Bergman threw 85 pitches in 4 innings. That's why Scott Oberg ended up getting the victory. He came in. That's line foul. Rockies bullpen, as we discussed at the top of the broadcast, you can't pitch any better than they've pitched so far, with the exception, obviously, Hawkins had the 2 issues in the 9th inning. Yeah, everybody else has been lights out. The one thing that concerns you is if you don't start getting some length from your starters, you're going to overuse your bullpen.
Yeah, and then you're worried about that.
Runner going. The throw is not going to get Aoki. And Aoki's going to move up. That'll be a throwing error on McHenry.
First error for Michael. Troy attempted to knock it down, but with the short hop and the skip off the grass, the 3rd stolen base for Aoki, and that caught right at the lip. So you don't know, is it gonna bounce higher? Is it gonna skip on you? And that one stayed down more than Troy thought.
Three and 2 on Duffy. Runner at 3rd, nobody out. And he gets the strikeout.
For Tyler Matzik, it is a 4-pitch mix, but predominantly fastball slider. We'll mix in a changeup and a curveball. We'll see the curveball more out on the road than we'll see it at Coors Field. Fastball is going to average 93 miles an hour, slider 84. You see the numbers against the slider, 158 average. He's starting to throw that more and more. The usage is up about 15, 17%.
All the swing pitches so far have been balls, and there's just 3 hitters. What I mean by swing pitches, even counts.
Yes, and after your club is giving you the 3-0 lead before you even stepped on the hill.
One ball, one strike on Pagan, who was 3 for 4 last night. The Giants 3 for their last 41 with runners in scoring position over 6 games, 0 for 15 in the series. Matzik will try to keep that stat going. That swing pitch, he got a strike on, a foul ball. It's 1-2.
For Pagan, it's just his 3rd at bat, hitting right-handed, and the first time this year that the Giants have faced a southpaw as a starter.
Well, if you faced the Rockies last year, you're almost guaranteed to see a southpaw. At one point, that's all the Rockies had. 1-2. Back up the middle, base hit, and the Giants get 1 run back. That was a hanger. Bruce Bochy saying finally. Hensley Mullins, the hitting instructor, saying finally a hit with a runner in scoring position. There's Bam Bam. It's one of the better nicknames for a
Sir
slugger.
Bam Bam.
It's Sir Bam Bam.
He was knighted.
He was knighted. He's from Curacao. Bam Bam speaks 5 languages. Did you know that?
I did know that just from remembering when he was knighted and he was talking about it and talking in all the different languages.
Yeah, including Japanese. He spent 3 years playing in Japan. Here's Posey. 0-1 on the slider. Came close to tying up the game late last night. In the 8th inning, Charlie Blackmon made the catch up against the wall. Charlie told us today that he saw it the whole way.
He might have been about the only guy that didn't think that ball was out.
What I mean by saw it the whole way, he knew it wasn't going out of the ballpark. It'll be close, but it wasn't going out.
Here it is last night in the bottom of the 8th. Raffy's looking. Charlie leaps. I don't think he would have gone out. He would have hit 3/4 of the way up the wall, but Charlie timed it. Timed his leap, caught it, ran back to the dugout.
Pagan a threat to go, and this is rolled foul. Aoki guy had a stolen base earlier in the inning. The Giants are not a team that runs much. They're their first stolen base yesterday of the season.
Well, they only have 3, and he has all 3 of them.
The 2 guys that'll go, Aoki obviously and Pagan. Two and 2.
Well, Pagan will go, I mean, even with Buster at the plate, because Posey will still hit the ball to the right side. He'll drive that ball to right field.
It's a popular count to run on with the thought to stay out of the double play. Not going, and it's popped up. LeMahieu and Morneau. It'll be Morneau. Two gone. That'll bring up Justin Maxwell. The Rockies have an outfield of Dickerson, Blackmon, and Cargo, and an infield of Arenado, Tulowitzki, LeMahieu, and Morneau. It's like the old Bears 46 defense. There's 4 guys there, but you think there's 6.
I like that one. You got to come up with a fancy nickname for this defense.
The Shield.
Well, I've seen that one bantered around. I do like that one, the Coors Shield.
The Kevlar infield. Now I'll come up with something. 3 on the left side for Maxwell, and again they'll
How about the
check
rock
out
wall?
Pagan. Rockwall's good. I like that.
I have to give our director Mike Fox credit for that one.
No, you don't.
Yeah, I did.
Nobody would have known.
I know. He would, though.
Just one guy. You can steal it. Good swing by Maxwell. Maxwell forced his way onto the roster during spring training, hitting above 360, drove in 15 runs, hit some balls out of the ballpark.
31-year-old's been with Washington, Houston, Kansas City. Just never was able to stay healthy.
You know he's really tight with? I was visiting with him before batting practice today. Really close with Brandon Barnes. He's leading off for the Rockies down in Albuquerque. They played together in Houston. Hard not to like Barnes.
No.
Great teammate, full of energy.
Remember what he did here last year, the inside the park?
Yeah. 0-2 on Maxwell.
Remember with Barnesy with that head first slide into home and gets up and kind of pumps the arms, gives you that mean look. Dirt's covering his face.
Yeah, he's classic, isn't he? You don't want to be loafing if Brandon Barnes is in your neighborhood.
No, you don't.
Runner going 1-2, and that'll be a stolen base for Pagan. Even with the lefty out there, the Giants very aggressive running.
Well, you pick your spot. Leg comes up. That was first movement. They weren't worried about Tyler throwing to first.
No swing, and it's 3-2 on Maxwell.
Well, next pitch will be number 25 for Tyler.
Way too many.
Yes, it is. And as you talked about earlier, just in this half inning, you know, you got to be careful because the bullpen, yeah, they're picking up a lot of innings and they're doing great, but you don't want to have to think about it's early, but we're using them a lot.
(3-2), and that is hooked foul. Slider so far hasn't been real sharp.
No. Flat.
And he loses Maxwell. He was ahead 0-2. And that'll bring up Hector Sanchez. This is about the time that Tulowitzki usually pays a visit to the mound. See if Troy comes in.
I'd like to see somebody go to the mound. A couple walks. That's right, just one walk. They hit by pitch for Nori.
Deep counts. Sanchez hits a high fly ball to shallow center. Blackman's got it in the inning. There was a hit batter, a walk, and a run for the Giants. 3-1 Colorado on the 3-run home run by Arenado.
That paved the way for integration in Major League Baseball. But for the then New York Giants, that came 2 years later, on July 8th, 1949. Monty Irvin and Hank Thompson came and played for the Giants against the Brooklyn.
Yankees fans, you can join the conversation by sending us your thoughts and photos via your favorite social media platform. Twitter is popular. What else is popular, Huey?
Instagram, Facebook.
What am I leaving out? MySpace?
No, that was so long ago with MySpace.
Well, I was never in your space or MySpace or
no
outer space. 0-1 on McHenry. Yeah, a lot of people said a 5'11", 170, and I wink when I say that because when he got here out of the University of Washington, he was nowhere near 170 pounds. Wouldn't last. He's really not even 5'11". He's lasted a long time. I saw this stat today. Doug, you'll probably confirm it for us. I think there's currently 14 active Cy Young Award winners, and so far they have a collective 3 wins this year.
Lincecum over 1,500 innings pitched.
That comes up on Arias, and E6 allows McHenry to reach to begin the second inning. Boy, that's as routine of ground ball as you'll get.
Yeah, that just ate him up.
And he's playing for Brandon Crawford tonight. Crawford hit lefties well last year, but he's 0 for his last 21.
Oh, his hands just got too deep behind him. Didn't have him out in front, and it ate him up. Didn't bend at the knees, bent at the waist. It's a bad fielding position.
And now Ted Williams at the plate. A strike on DJ, hitting .516 Like every night he throws out 3 hits.
Yeah, we were watching some games while we were eating dinner tonight. One of the games they had on was the Detroit Tigers and Pittsburgh, and even the Detroit broadcast had DJ up on their screen as one of the early season surprises. So now he's starting to get recognized even in the other leagues.
And he's going to have another hit here. Pulled to left. Aoki will hold McHenry at second base. 2 on, nobody out. And that's a 9-game hitting streak to begin the season for DJ. His career long is 14. And he's working now foul line to foul line. It's not all just going to right field.
And what are the pitches that Lincecum has been hurt by tonight? Another slider. The home run to DJ was on a slider. That base hit to left, the same.
Matzik will try to get it down the third base line or in that general area.
Oh,
that's a fair ball. And a break for the Rockies. Good jump by McHenry, because Sanchez hesitated.
I don't know why.
He would have had the force at third.
And the home plate umpire, Mark Carlson, hopped out and immediately signaled fair. But when that bunt goes down, McHenry, secondary lead, bam, and he is off. Well, I think he was worried that Duffy was not going to get back to the bag. So off the plate, he comes up. He looks like he's going to fire down there. Instead, he throws to first.
A chance for the Rockies to build on their 2-run lead. Blackman at the plate. Outside on Charlie, 2 in scoring position. And the infield has come in halfway. The corners are even. And up the middle there, about 10 feet out on the dirt, because you have a catcher at third.
Well, somebody faster. But also, the way the Rockies are scoring runs, the Giants know they can't fall too many runs behind because they're not scoring any runs.
Bochy's been doing some pacing in the early going. His club has lost 5 consecutive games. 2-0. And this will get a run home. Pagan is going to set to throw to third. DJ's going to tag also. Here comes McHenry with the Rockies' 4th run. So Blackman has his 2nd RBI of the year. The Rockies get that run back.
All the little things add up. You reach on an error by the shortstop. DJ gets the base hit, sack bunt, 2nd and 3rd, easy fly ball. That's how you diagram it.
Good execution. Cargo bounced to the right side. He was thrown out by the shortstop Arias. And again, the shift is on. See if Cargo can come through with 2 outs here. Bring home LeMahieu. Been quiet with the bat the last few games. Throwing out a hit here and there. 1 for 4 last night. But even with the fact that he's been quiet, it hasn't been the multitude of strikeouts.
No.
He's putting the ball in play.
And yesterday he got a base hit in between 1st and 2nd. But if you're Carlos right now, really just think about keeping that right shoulder in and just hitting the ball to left field, because there's so much area with the shift.
Yeah, Cargo struck out just 3 times in 36 at bats.
Look at that hole with Duffy having to hold the runner closer to third base.
That's fouled off. Who wants tacos? When the Rockies score 7 or more runs, go to participating Colorado Taco Bell locations the next day. Do it between 4 and 6 to get your Rockies taco special. Live Moss at Taco Bell. 4 runs in the first inning and 2/3 for the Rockies against Lincecum. Here's the 1-2. You were saying keep your shoulder in, and just by what Cargo did after that pitch, he was reminding himself of just what you said.
Yeah, don't fly open with that, because that'll cause the bat to come through over the top and really a long swing. So keep it closed and then drive the ball back up the middle.
Lincecum wins the battle. The Rockies get another run. They take advantage of the error by Joaquin Arias. McHenry scores on the fly ball by Blackman. 4-1 Rockies, middle of 2.
Well, it was Robinson that paved the way for integration in Major League Baseball. But for the then New York Giants, that came 2 years later, on July 8th, 1949. Monty Irvin and Hank Thompson came and played for the Giants against the Brooklyn Dodgers. It was Irvin that came in for a pinch hit late in the game, and Thompson that started, led off, and played second base. 2 years later, in 1951, a guy by the name of Willie Mays joined the two, and they became the first all-black outfield in Major League history. Both Willie Mays' number 24 and Monty Irvin's number 20 have been retired by the Giants franchise, and they're honored right here at AT&T Park.
Jenny, thanks very much. Willie Mays is number 24. You know, we were talking as that pitcher's in there around batting practice with Walt Weiss, and we're talking about the swirling winds, and Walt brought up, and Bonds hit 73 home runs here. That ball is going to be a base hit to right. How about Willie Mays playing all of those years at Candlestick Park? I mean, this place like the Bahamas compared to Candlestick Park.
It is, and we've seen the wind swirl here some. I mean, last night, the catch of Nolan, the wind was going on opening day here. How that ball went up, and Nolan thought he had it. Troy ended up catching it going over towards second base, but playing it in the stick, it was it wasn't a treat. We'll just leave it at that, because that wind would swirl and the dust would kick up, and you never knew where the ball was going to end up.
Joe Panik takes a strike. Leadoff base hit for Arias. Well, Justin Maxwell grew up in Maryland. In fact, he still lives in Maryland. We'll show Justin here in a second. He was always a big Giants fan because his father was a Willie Mays fan. I mean, and that's the same thing. My dad, I mean, there were so many huge Willie Mays fans. And you think about 1951 when Mays came up his rookie year, and he too changed the game. But the pioneer was Jackie Robinson. Blackman in center. Panik now 3 for his last 26 after being 3 for 5 on opening day. That'll bring up Lincecum. Tyler Matzek battling command here the first time through the order. Too close to 30 pitches in that first inning. He needs a couple of real economical innings. Yeah, it's interesting. Right now, Arenado's even with the bag. I'm a little surprised at that. Wouldn't you assume even with one out, he's got a bunt, right? Here comes Nolan now.
I don't question anything Nolan does, though.
No, I'm not questioning it. I was just.
You thought he would be in closer onto the grass. Yes. But he charges the ball so well that maybe when he sees the hands start to slide up the bat, he'll creep in and crash.
He's come way in now. Did he offer it that? Guess not. 1-1.
But if he does bunt it hard enough, you can turn 2 on Lincecum. You know, these are the frustrating moments for a manager and a pitching coach. Seeing the guy's trying to give you the out. Just throw a strike. Let him bunt the ball.
Trust your stuff.
Yes.
Two and two. Well, Lincecum staring down at Roberto Kelly to see if the bunt's still on. I'm sure it will be. And now he's gone full on Lincecum. Man, it's a battle right now for Madsen.
The 39 pitches thrown, 20 for strikes, 19 balls.
See if Arias is going to go. Foul tip held by McHenry for the second out, and it's the second strikeout for Madsen. They took the bunt off. That'll bring up Aoki. He got drilled in the back his first time up. How about this photo? It was tweeted out. Jackie Robinson and Willie Mays.
Say hey, kid.
I haven't asked if Willie's been around yet this year. I mean, he used to be, he's well into his 80s now. He used to be a fixture in the clubhouse before games. He'd sit in the office and was playing cards. Guys could drop in and visit with him. Can you imagine having that, the ability that in your clubhouse every home game is arguably the greatest player who ever lived? He's on a short list.
Yes, he is. And I remember Carl Yastrzemski the same way, where he'd be sitting in the clubhouse. You'd go into Boston and people, hey, Yaz is over there. You look and, I mean, those are special players, game changers, icons.
Two and one on Aoki with Arias at first. Line drive. Tulo comes up with it, and he'll throw out Aoki. That's all for the Giants in the second inning. A leadoff hit for Arias. He's left at first base. Rockies leading 4-1 over the Giants. brought to you by your hometown Toyota stores, Let's Go Places, and by Southwest Airlines. Book your low fare now at southwest.com. The beauty of San Francisco, the Rockies leading the Giants 4-1 on a Wednesday night. Tomorrow an off day in LA for the Rockies. And the Rockies have an early lead behind a 3-run home run from Nolan Arenado. Tulowitzki, Morneau, and Arenado 3, 4, and 5 against Tim Lincecum. Everybody's shifting now. 3 on the left side for Tulo, and this is a high fly ball down the right field line. This is close to the foul pole, and it is just foul.
By about
Remember, it's
2
only
or 3 feet.
Yeah, it's only 309 feet down that line.
Well, that's why when Troy hit the baseball, he started to jog down there and held on to the bat, thinking it had a chance to clip the foul pole.
One. Troy drives this more conventionally left center field, but it's going to be cut off and caught by Pagan. 1 out. That'll bring up Morneau, who struck out his first time. 3 in the first, a run in the second for Colorado against the 2-time Cy Young Award winner. 12 times in the last 16 years, the Cy Young Award has come out of the National League West. The only 4 pitchers who did not reside in the West over the last 16 years. Roger Clemens with Houston in 2004. This ball is going to reach the seats. Carpenter with the Cardinals in 2005. Roy Halladay out of Arvada West in 2010 with Philadelphia. And the knuckleballer, R.A. Dickey with the Mets in 2012.
We even had the MVP last year out of the National League West, who was the pitcher in Clayton Kershaw.
A couple years ago, it was Buster Posey. It's going to be a tough division this year. Lincecum lost his spot in the rotation last year over a 6-game span in the middle of the summer. He had a 9.49 ERA.
Well, prior to the All-Star break, he was 9-5 with a 3.66. After, 3-4 with a 7.5.
And he wasn't much better when he went to the bullpen last year. In fact, he made only 1 postseason appearance. That was in the World Series. He went an inning in 2/3, and then he tightened up.
And there was some question whether he would even be on the roster in the postseason.
And in spring training this year, whether or not he'd be in the rotation. But, you know, they have a lot of injuries right now. Vogelsong's now a long haul guy. Matt Cain won't start throwing for another week.
Flexor tendon issue for Matt Cain. Had bone chips removed, ankle surgery over the winter.
There's Matt. The Giants are in action tomorrow. The Rockies, as we talked about, have an off day in LA. Giants stay right here at AT&T. Arizona comes in for a 4-game set. Madison Bumgarner will open that series against Archie Bradley. What a debut for Bradley. Get it bat for Morneau. Bumgarner hasn't been sharp yet.
Well, and the Giants are going to come out of the gate playing 14 straight games.
That's really unusual. Back up the middle, but that's where Arias is. It used to be you saw a ball up the middle, you assume, okay, I can mark that down. It's a base hit. Not anymore. Every team is shifting and shifting with great frequency. 2 outs, nobody on for Arenado.
Well, and Lincecum forgot where Arias was. We're back in the first inning for Nolan. Goes down and gets that slider, hits it out on an 0-2 count. So I asked Doug to figure out the numbers. So the Rockies have 43 RBIs now. 16 have come with 2 outs and 17 with 2 strikes.
1-2-3 inning as Arenado grounds out to Matt Duffy. Rockies 4 and the Giants 1, middle of 3.
Compliments of Nolan Arenado with the 3-run blast in the first. So last night it was all about Nolan's defense. And that catch that Nolan had last night reminded a lot of people of this catch that Derek Jeter had in 2004 against the Boston Red Sox in the 12th inning of that game. Of course, Jeter had a little bloody and fully went into the stands. So here they are side by side. Of course, Jeter, we know that his catch is called the dive. But what will Nolan Arenado's catch be called? That's a question I want to pose to fans out there. Hope you can tweet us at RudeSports_RM. Don't forget to hashtag Toyota Talk. And we're going to name Nolan Arenado's catch tonight. I just called it the Holy Nolan. What do you guys think?
The tarp.
Arenado. The way he went flying.
It's unusual that you see something and immediately you know you're not going to see better. You may at some point in time see something in the same class, maybe, but you're not going to see better.
No, and I'm going to go to Jeter's first, and then I'll go to Nolan's. For Jeter, that is more of a natural play for an infielder, the way he reached up for that. Yeah, I know he went diving into the stands, but as an infielder, if you're running and you catch that ball with your arm outstretched, when you catch it over your shoulder, that's really not a normal play for an infielder.
Oh, what a play there. To first, out at first base. It's getting contagious.
That's what I'm saying. We need this fancy name. We need a name for this defense.
That's the save for Morneau.
The glove save.
The glove save. Look at this play by Justin Morneau.
Playing off the line, dives, lays out. His back goes into where his feet are coming up. And then the underhand flip to Tyler, who did not forget to get over. Knew it was going to be a foot race. Lead him, step on the bag, catch it. I mean, not how you would diagram it, but he did get the foot down.
It's that 46 defense on the corner. I got to go with that.
Okay.
What a play. 2 outs. Posey at the plate.
So I just got a text from Corey Sullivan, who's back in the studio. He says Coors Shield. That's what he's going with.
Not bad. The torpedo. I like that one. Jonathan, well done. Just south of the knees, 2-1. Charlie in center field. And that's a 1-2-3 inning. And an 8-pitch inning. Boy, Tyler Matzik needed just that. Rockies, as we go to the fourth, ahead 4-1. We'll get a second look at Tim Lincecum. He struck out swinging his first time. Dickerson 0 for 8 now with this ground out career-wise against Lincecum. Lincecum, you don't want to let him settle in. That kind of happened with Hudson last night. The Rockies got after Hudson in the first few innings, and then he was able to stick around for 7.
Throw just 100 pitches in those 7 innings, where early in the game you didn't think he'd be long for 5.
Mike McHenry reached on an error in the second by Joaquin Arias and would come around to score eventually on a fly ball by Charlie Blackmon to deep center.
Okay, now Spilly's chiming in. He just texted me. He wants to call it the tarp. Not just the catch, the whole infield, the tarp. The goal.
Oh,
or
the Rockies' defense in the infield.
The defense on the infield. I was going back to that for a moment.
They're all good suggestions.
So Spilly likes the tarp. We have the Coors Shield, the rock wall.
A friend on the catch texted me and said, call it the tarpon, like he
hooked
a big
fish. Big fish.
It's clever.
Very nice play on words.
Two and one on McHenry. Rockies, for the first time in their history, 5-0 to begin the season on the road. 9 of their first 12 out on the road. This ball will be a base hit to left, past the diving Arias.
Well, you want to check out the on-deck rooftop ticket package. It's available online only. It's the most affordable and flexible way to purchase rooftop tickets. For more information, visit Rockies.com/rooftop.
Rockies in the midst of 24 in a row inside the National League West. DJ had a base hit his first time up. I know that's a shock. On the inside corner. Line shot to left field. He's hitting all 9 games.
You mentioned the 24 straight within the division. Then they just sneak out of there for a couple games against the Angels and right back against the Dodgers.
Right, that's there's 2 trips where the Rockies will sit in a city. Well, they'll move because they'll be in Anaheim, then they'll move up to Los Angeles, but basically in Southern California for a better part of a week, and then later on this year, back-to-back series against the Giants and the A's.
And that one we don't have to change hotels.
Nope. Just plant our butts right there in Union Square. How pretty was it today? It was much warmer
beautiful
today than it was the last couple of days. In fact, game time temperature tonight 64 degrees. There goes McHenry, and he's going to swipe second base on the ball in the dirt. That was not I can't imagine it was a straight steal, but DJ didn't offer it the pitch. That's the first steal we hear at the public address of Mike's career. Where you go, Mike? He's looking back, somebody missed a sign either.
Or maybe DJ just said it is so far down and away that
I don't have to offer
I don't have to swing.
2-1. There's Stu Cole. Stu had a great line, I thought, before the game. We're talking about Nolan's catch, and Stu works with the infielders. I'll tell you about it after this pitch. This ball is bounced almost over Duffy's head. I don't think he's going to be able to throw him out. He cannot, so it's another infield hit, and DJ's 2 for 2.
In a 6th multi-hit game of the season. Well, when things are going right and you're hot, you're hot. A high chopper or the old Baltimore chop. Matt Duffy should have just ate it. Should not even have thrown the baseball.
So with 1 out, Matzik at the plate. So I was kidding Stu about, coaching up Nolan on that play. He goes, oh yeah, we practice that in early work at least once a week, that play. And he said, now we're going to get in some practice on the throw from the tarp after. Good man, Stu Cole.
He worked hard. Just as much pride in what happens with the infielders, because that's his baby.
Yeah, but with DJ winning that Gold Glove last year, getting recognition. You were an instructor. How important it is to those guys, all the work they put in. Fouled off.
When we talked about the scout that signed Scott Oberg, and how happy he was to have him make it to the big leagues. For an infield coach, same thing. You work hard, you work on techniques, ground balls every day during spring training, the early work, and then see it to come to fruition. It's just that's special.
Matzik's hitting 1,000. Fouls that one off. Blackman on deck.
That double was a fly ball to left field that it went off Caesar's glove.
Well, Caesar was playing in naturally, and Matzik gave it a ride. Caesar sprinting back, got some leather on it, but he couldn't haul it in. Pulls it back. Fouls it off.
And when you pull the bat back, you have it out in front of you, you pull it back, then it's just a short swing to the ball. You're not trying to make a long path. Just pull it up, and then the hands right back to the ball.
Pulls it back again, and this is looped to center field. Will it drop? No. Pagan gets there. And Mike McHenry, that's a good piece of base running because he wants to make sure he can get to third if it drops, but he can't venture too far off the bag at second, Huey.
2 times tonight, Michael's been at second base and has had reads that aren't conventional reads. The one with the bunt, high chopper, he keeps going. This time, you turn your body to the outfield so you can adjust either way. You see the catch by Pagan, you go back to second. But if you see it drop, then you keep going on to third. Don't try to look over your shoulder. Turn your body to it so you're facing the outfield.
Here's Blackman outside. Well, there was another great catch in baseball tonight. This was to rob a home run. Toronto's Kevin Pillar went Spider-Man on the wall in Toronto tonight. It's a catch you'll see later on. It was spectacular. 2-0, throw to second, and McHenry gets back in front of the Sanchez toss.
Design pickoff play called by the catcher.
Lincecum has thrown 73 pitches already. Rockies got him for 3 in the first on the Arenado blast. Got a run off him in the second. He had a 1-2-3 third.
There's all kinds of things going on at second base. You had the back pick. You had the daylight play with the shortstop.
Lincecum right now is making De La Rosa look like Mark Burley. (2-0).
Burley be in the 8th inning.
It's good to see Jorge in the clubhouse tonight. He says he feels great. The arm feels good. He had just general soreness after pitching last night, and Walt made the announcement he will pitch on Monday back at home when the Rockies open up that homestand against the Padres.
Well, he's been so good in his career at Coors Field. Makes sense.
And this ball in the air to left center field. Long run for Pagan. He'll get there. Good catch by Angel Pagan. That will save at least a run, maybe 2. Rockies will leave 2 on in the top half of the 4th. They lead it 4-1. brought to you by the Ford Mustang. Head-turning and heart-pounding. Ford, go further. By Southwest Airlines. Book your low fare now at southwest.com. And by CenturyLink, your link to what's next. In the city by the bay, we're in China Basin. 15th year for baseball in China Basin at AT&T Park. Justin Maxwell to lead off the bottom of the fourth. Sliders in there for a strike. Tyler Matzik has retired 6 in a row. He had a 1-2-3 third inning. Justin Maxwell has an interesting background. Here's the 0-1 down low on the Maryland native. We told you last night he didn't get anything but an A in high school. Got into Harvard, decided to go to Maryland to play baseball because he wanted to play in the big leagues and felt like Maryland would afford him the best opportunity at the time. Both his parents are dentists. His mom was he's now a retired pediatric dentist. They both were in the Navy for years, so Justin moved around quite a bit. And his dad, who now is, according to Justin, retired, but he works at the Pentagon, so I guess he'd make sure the general's teeth are are aligned properly. But he was the personal dentist for President Clinton and President Bush. And in fact, as we all know, both President Bushes, for that matter, huge baseball fans. And when Justin got drafted, President Bush sent him, a personal note congratulating him, and has kept tabs on him through his father.
Well, and President Bush was owner of the Rangers.
Yep.
Prior to becoming president. When I was there, was always down in the clubhouse. He was working out down there. But it kind of runs in his family because his sister is a nurse at Walter Reed Medical Center.
Well, strike 3 on Maxwell. Matzik, the last couple innings, looks like a different pitcher than the one we watched in the first, certainly. Almost 30 pitches to get through the first inning after being staked to a 3-0 lead. Hector Sanchez hit a fly ball to center field his first time. Two and 0. Royals lost for the first time tonight. They're now 7-1. Minnesota beat them 3-1. High fly ball, deep left field. It'll stay in the park. Dickerson waiting. 2 outs. Now, contrast in starts for the 2 finalists, the 2 World Series combatants. The Giants are off to a 3-6 beginning, and the Royals, the last team to suffer a loss. Royals scoring big, and that bullpen still lights out.
That's carried them a long way. We'll see how they do with Alex Rios being out, hit by a pitch yesterday, day before. We ended up with a broken hand, finger.
Well, it's a 6-inning game with the Royals. If they're ahead after 6, this is the center field. And Arias flies out. Quick inning again for Matzik, who's now retired 9 in a row. Rockies 4 and the Giants 1. And Jenny Kavnar, I'm Drew Goodman. With every challenged call, the Subaru Eyesight Review will determine the outcome. Love, it's what makes a Subaru a Subaru. Walt Weiss's team unbeaten on the road. Think about this as Cargo steps in. The Rockies last year swept the Giants mid-June. From that point forward, they went 6-39 on the road. If they win tonight, they'll have 6 wins in the opening 10 days of the season. Cargo had a pitch up to hit, and he fouled it back.
Well, after that sweep in San Francisco, that's when they went down to L.A. That was part of the Kershaw no-hitter into that road trip.
On Sunday, on Wednesday. That's right. It was the 3rd game in that series. Rockies, in turn, got swept by the Dodgers, but it was that 3rd game of the series when he threw the no-hitter. 2-1. Cargo, Tulo, Morneau. The O brothers. Three and one. There was a little bit of action last inning for the Giants in their pen, and there'll be more right now. Is that Vogelsong running down there or not?
That's the only issue when you're dealing with all the 42s. I think it's Vogelsong.
And he gets Cargo again. Second time he's gotten Gonzalez.
Well, the first 15,000 fans through the gates on Saturday, April 25th will receive a Vinny Castilla drink beverage wrap brought to you by Donate Life Colorado.
You know what? It's George Contos.
Okay.
Vogelsong's clean shaven. He didn't add a beard, did he?
Contos is
Tulo deep in the hole. Arias, nice play. Well, Arias had an error earlier, and he just took a hit away from Tulowitzki.
Well, with the shift, you're in the hole more than you normally would be, but slides and spins and makes the throw on the money. If he's in his normal position and not pulled over, that's a base hit. Instead, it's 6-3. And that's why you put the shifts on.
Ball one on Morneau, a strikeout and a ground ball to short. 4 runs, 5 hits for the Rockies. A run on 2 hits for the Giants. Joe Panik is in short right field.
Looks like a rover in softball.
And the alignments now in baseball, hitter to hitter, can be dramatically different.
Well, and then to have the shortstop on the shortstop side of second base with the second baseman as deep as he is.
3-0 on Justin with Arenado on deck.
And then Posey on the line.
Hardest pitch I've seen tonight from Lincecum's 88. You seen any harder?
No, I haven't.
That's a base hit.
That's how you beat the shift.
And truth be told, Huey, correct me if I'm wrong, you can't think about it. You still got to see it and hit it, and you know, you're trying to square it up and hit it hard. You can't put a joystick on it and say, I'm going to hit it over here.
Yeah, it's not like the cheat codes in a video game,
right?
Where you can plug it in and figure out, okay, I could buck the system. No, but you will go up to the plate. If you see that and you'll think, okay, this is where I want to try to hit the ball, doesn't always work out that way.
Arenado nearly golfed a 3-run home run to left center. His team leading third back in the first inning. Also a ground ball to third. Nolan drives this ball to deep left field, but it's going to land in the glove of Aoki. Can't hit it any harder. So the Rockies leave a man on in the fifth. They're up 4-1. Nolan Arenado, 3-run home run in the first. Rockies would take advantage of an error in the second to score a run. It was a sac fly by Blackman. Michael McHenry blazing on the bases tonight. He had a stolen base. Scored a run in the second inning. Matzik with a first pitch slider to Joe Panik at strike one. 9 in a row set down now by Tyler after kind of a rough beginning.
Well, and also 11 of 17 first pitch strikes, and that's come mainly in the last 2+ innings.
1-1, 8-9-1 here in the fifth inning for San Francisco. Last time they have lost 6 in a row in April was 2009. That's at Morneau, 1 out.
MLB.TV Premium, the #1 live streaming sports service, is celebrating 13 years. Watch every out-of-market game live or on demand in true HD. Real-time highlights, live look-ins, and more. Blackouts and other restrictions do apply. Still, visit MLB.TV for details.
Well, they're going to pinch hit for Lincecum here in the fifth inning with Gregor Blanco. Mentioned the pitch count because of the first couple innings, even though Lincecum's been better the last couple. Was already up to 88. We'll go to Contos. One and one.
Well, the Giants are dealing with the short bench.
They have
Only
four
four
guys
guys
on their bench,
only.
really. But I don't even know if they have that many because McGee has not appeared since getting that cortisone shot in the knee.
And I haven't seen him take batting practice on the field.
I literally haven't seen him, period.
Right. And I haven't seen him take ground balls, anything. So that if he is available, all he's doing is taking all his work in the cage.
We were told yesterday that there was a good chance he was going to start at third tonight against Matzik, the lefty. That obviously is not the case. 2-1 on Blanco. So he may be just down to Belt and Crawford. This ball is going to drop and go all the way to the wall. Blanco's taking 3, and he's going to have it easily.
second triple of the season for Gregor Blanco.
I think Charlie thought he could cut this off.
Because it wasn't a particularly good route from Charlie. He went over and then had to go back, more of an L route. Blanco second among active pinch hitters with over a 320 average. Hits the ball in the gap. What's the route of Charlie? Goes over, realizes, nope, I'm not going to get it. I'm going to have to get it once it stops rolling at the wall.
And that'll bring up Nori Aoki. You know, Aoki is a guy that, generally speaking, gets it in play. It's tough to keep the Giants off the board here with one out.
And with his swing plane, he tries to stay on top of the ball, so for him it's easy to hit a ground ball.
The infield bat, all he wants to do to get that run home. Here's the 1-0. Throwing the slider for strikes. He hasn't had the real good zip on the fastball tonight.
Well, and that's why he's throwing more sliders. It's just not coming out of his hand where it has that extra oomph on it.
Calls for the fastball here. It's 1-2. Good block by McHenry.
Well, it's a great block because you call for the fastball, you want it away, and he throws it at 58, 59 feet.
But you know what? This looks like another slider. It was. That was a slider.
Yeah, it was. You're right,
Last
Drew.
finger we saw go down was a 1. But that obviously was a slider. And this is
that's a
slider also. That won't get it done. You got to hustle to first. Good job. Good throw by Matzik. Morneau gives him a head nod.
When you see pitchers panic when that ball is hit with a high chop, you have a runner at third base, a fast runner in Blanco. So you're worried about, is he going to go? Is he going to go? I have to check him briefly and still make the throw to get a fast runner coming out of the left side of the box.
Fortunately, and I say this is not as a knock, but you can relate to this. He didn't have time to think about it.
You just catch it and go.
Right.
Just catch it and throw it.
2 outs, chance to get out of it. Matt Duffy, a strikeout and a fly ball to right field. And he should get out of it. Arenado on the move, perfect throw, and the triple did not hurt Tyler Matzik. Good pitching from Matzik. He safely through the 5th inning with the Rockies ahead by 3 runs. 4-1 Colorado. Corey Dickerson 0 for 2 will face George Contos in relief of Tim Lincecum. Lincecum goes 5 innings, gives up 4 runs, 3 earned, 6 hits, a walk, and 4 strikeouts.
5th appearance for Contos. 5 1/3 innings pitched on the young season.
And a first pitch strike from the product of Northwestern in Evanston, Illinois.
Yeah, originally drafted by the Yankees, then Rule 5 over to San Diego and another trade. Last year was on that shuttle between San Francisco and Fresno. Up and down, it seemed like every other week.
And he hits the outside corner at 91. It's 0-2. Dickerson thought both pitches were low and away. According to the fourth strike zone, he has an argument. Home plate umpire Mark Carlson tonight. Mike DeMuro's at first, Trip Gibson at second, Brian Gorman is at third. Rockies trying to add on. They're up 4-1. Rockies finished with 9 hits yesterday. It was the first time this year they didn't have at least 10 in a game.
I like the approach that they've had. I know they had it in Milwaukee, but did you wonder what's going to happen the first couple games away from Coors Field after you played 3 games there? Are you going to see, is the ball going to break, or are you going to have to make the adjustments? Well, they have.
2-2. Here's something interesting about the Giants. The only other defending World Series champion to lose each of its first 2 home games and score just 1 run or less. The 1915 Braves, the 28 Yankees, the 52 Yankees, and the 09 Phillies. That's it. Rockies won 4-1 yesterday and 2-0 in the first game of this series on Monday. Dodgers in the 6th inning at Dodger Stadium leading Seattle 5-1 tonight. Strike 3. The day after every Rockies victory, get 50% off your online order at Papa John's. Use the promo code ROCKSWIN at papajohns.com. Henry's had a good night offensively. Reached on an error in the second and would move along the bases until he scored on a sac fly by Charlie Blackmon. Then he had a sharp single to left in the 4th, and on a pitch that was in the dirt, it's a hit and run, but he ended up getting a stolen base, his first career stolen base. 2 outs, and that'll bring up LeMahieu. Another couple of hits for DJ tonight. DJ's got the average to a major league best 545.
Well, that's because of his BABIP. Batting average with balls in play.
Everything he puts in play finds a hole, and he's hit a lot of balls sharply. That's how you hit 545.
Well, in the major leagues, he's leading. 571. It's nice company when you're at the Adrian Gonzalez, Cabrera, and then Troy.
Now, the definition of batted balls in play, it measures how often a batted ball goes in for a hit. It does not include home runs. The major league average last year was 295. Now, certain guys who hit the ball sharply frequently, guys like Cargo, Chulo, they're going to hit above that league average. Duffy's got it. All of the names you saw there, there's going to be a correction. Nobody goes a season and hits 450, 500. batters balls in play. But the point is, DJ's putting everything in play, and he's being rewarded for it.
It was 68 years ago today that Jackie Robinson broke the color barrier, and he did so much more for just the future of baseball players. He did a lot to change our country. Here's more with LaTroy Hawkins.
Jackie, he put a whole country on his shoulders and brought people together in a way that we had never seen before at that time. So for Jackie, he means everything to, not just the African American community, but to African American ball players as myself. I don't think we could go through and come out, shining and like he did. I don't think we could do that, and he did that. He carried a whole country on his shoulders and showed us how to be nice to each other, be kind to each other, and you shouldn't judge a person by the color of their skin.
Very powerful words there by LaTroy Hawkins. And one of my favorite Jackie Robinson quotes, he said, "I'm not concerned with you liking or disliking me. All I ask is that you respect me as a human being." And I think it's so important that we get to remember and honor this day, and that baseball players get to wear number 42 to do just that. Drew?
Yeah, and I think the important thing to remember, and I think most of us realize, that Jackie Robinson, what he did goes far beyond sport, and in particular baseball. His courage and what he had to endure and the doors it opened, it did, in fact, as LaTroy said and others have said as well, it changed this country, and obviously changed it for the better.
The other quote is, "A life is not important except in the impact it has on other lives." And Jackie had that.
3-1 is in there, 3-2. This is going to be a tough play for Arenado, and no play.
That spin.
Yeah, Pagan runs too well. Even if he comes up with it with his bare hand, he's not going to throw out Pagan. So an infield hit, and that'll bring up Posey. Brooks Brown's throwing in the Rockies' pen. 83 pitches in, which is fine. And in a perfect world, Walt would love to get Matzik through this 6th inning. Bullpen's had to pick up a lot of innings lately. I know tomorrow's an off day, but you want to turn that trend around. Dangerous man in Buster Posey. 4-1 Rockies. Here's Brown.
For Wall, he's comfortable bringing Brooks in to face a right-handed or a left-handed batter. It's just not a case of matching up with Brooks. It's when he feels that Tyler's had enough.
Ground ball to third. See if they can get the lead runner. Good job on the first. Double play. Nolan Arenado with a perfect feed on the move. And that's one, Jeff, that I don't know how many guys were able to turn that. But he made a perfect feed to DJ, and we know how great he is around the bag.
Well, for Nolan, he set up that throw prior to catching the ball. Again, a high chopper. Notice the action on the hips when he gets through there. But for DJ, what did he do? He cleared himself from the runner. So he cut down the distance, goes across the bag. The runner slides into second because he doesn't know where he's going.
Pitching and defense. Pitching and defense. You can win with it.
And that's fundamental 101. That's just practice, practice, practice. Another look. First the feed from Nolan. Gets it. Now come across the bag. Put your left foot on the bag. Take your right foot to the ball. That way when it lands, you're planted and able to make the throw to first. What a treat every night to see these guys in action.
2-1 on Maxwell. And this is a fly ball down the right field line. Can Morneau get there? Nope, and it lands in fair territory. Cargo is way over in right center field virtually. Brooks Brown's the guy who needed to make that play.
Yeah, he's not allowed to. It was just a flare to right. Lands a foot in fair territory.
The good thing is Maxwell wasn't able to get the second on it.
No, because Justin had gone back there quick enough. Now how big was that double play? You're probably looking at first and third.
Yeah, it's enormous. You steal outs with great plays, and then you also add to that category when you turn a double play in a situation where most infields wouldn't be able to turn it. There's a lot of third basemen that have gotten to first on that. This ball's hooking foul.
You're right.
Third baseman say, you know what, I'm going to take the safe play and go to first.
I can't do that because it's a high chopper. My momentum's going to first base. Instead, he sets it where it's going that way, and then you make it. And for the opposing dugout, all they can do is go, man, they did it to us again. So whatever momentum or energy you had is just sucked out of you.
Oh, and 2 on Sanchez. 2 outs in the 6th inning. This ball in the air to left. Dickerson to the edge of the track will make the catch. And that is all for the Giants in the 6th. With some more help from Nolan Arenado, the Rockies will take a 4-1 lead to the 7th inning at AT&T Park. Get involved in this every year. An opportunity to win a $2.5 million dream home or a couple of $1 million in cash. That will help out, won't it? And you'll also help out a terrific cause. Visit milehighraffle.com for more information. Daniel Descalso is going to pinch hit. So Tyler Matzik, after a tough start in the first inning, he's having trouble with his command, departs with a 4-1 lead. As we go to the top of the 7th inning, Cantos continues on, and this ball is turned and fouled off by Descalso.
I want to give credit to Tyler to find whatever he found in between innings after that first to come out, settle down, go 6 innings, and only give up the 1 earned run. He ended up throwing 15 of 24 first pitch strikes.
You know, veteran pitchers will tell you that, you know, if they take the baseball 32, 33 times in a season, the majority of those things aren't going to feel perfect. You're not going to have all your pitches. You may be tight. You may not have the command you want. You have to find a way through it. And that's what Tyler did. That's part of the growth of a big league pitcher.
Well, and just to be able to get those extra 3 outs instead of having to come out in the 5th inning. That shortens the game, obviously, but it just helps that bullpen not to have to eat up that 1 extra inning.
Strike 3 on Descalso. Cantos with his 2nd strikeout of the 4 batters he's faced.
You can schedule a group outing at Coors Field. Get discounts and scoreboard recognition when you bring your group of 25 or more. Get your group on.
Strike on Blackman. Charlie a sac fly in the 2nd. He walked and scored back in the 1st and hit a ball to deep left center in the 4th. Good running catch by Angel Pagan. Saved probably 2 runs. 2 strikes. Padres at Petco beat Arizona tonight 3-2, despite a home run from Paul Goldschmidt. His first of the year for Arizona. Upton went deep for San Diego. Rockies will see the Padres when they return home on Monday. 0-2 and a strikeout of Blackman.
We're just not used to seeing some of the Padre hitters like Upton 355, 351, Kemp 341. You're not used to seeing those type of numbers from the Padres.
John Axford, thank you for all the thoughts, prayers, and love for our little man Jameson. He just went in for his 3rd surgery. Yeah.
Our thoughts and prayers are with you, Johnny.
Absolutely. Cargo's 0 for 3 tonight. A couple of strikeouts. First time in a game this year he has struck out twice. And this is popped up to shallow left and coming on hard and making the catch is Aoki. So the Rockies go in order in the 7th. Stretch time in San Francisco. Rockies leading 4-1. movement. Well, it was August 22nd, 2000, and Brent Maine had come into the ball game. You remember it well. 12th inning against Atlanta. And Maine did not allow a run. Adam Melhuse had his first career ribby, and that gave Brent Maine the victory. So Maine is one of the Rockies pitchers to win their pitching debut, along with Scott Oberg last night. First pitch from Brooks Brown misses ball one on Joaquin Arias. Look who else is on that list. Marcus Moore, Mark Thompson, he had that good curveball.
Yes.
Mark Brownson, who had that beautiful complete game against Houston in front of his folks.
One for Scott Oberg. Was chatting with him in the locker room today, and his folks and his wife were here last night watching the game. They had been in Albuquerque with him when he got the call, so then they made the drive up to Denver and flew out of Denver to come here.
Other names on that list: Chinwei Sao, he's trying to come back. The Dodgers organization. Ryan Spires on that list. Ryan's out of Radford, and of course Eddie Butler's out of Radford. 1-2. Brown misses 2-2.
Brooks Brown, 15 straight scoreless appearances dating back to August of last year.
Back up the middle, and Brown recovers, and he throws out Joaquin Arias, and he's walking around just fine.
Well, hockey's playoff started tonight, and that was a kick save and a beauty. Just make sure he's okay.
Well, you're going to get a trio coming out of the dugout, led by Keith Duggar, Walt Weiss, Steve Foster.
Where did this?
First of all, fortunately,
outside.
the outside of his foot or his ankle, and the good news is it hit the dirt first, which
and that's
it takes some of the steam off.
Yeah, and nobody likes to get hit in the foot, but that is the protected area of the foot. You know, if it's in the instep, it hurts more, or up onto the toes.
You know, Brooks Brown saying I'm 29. I spent 8 years in the minor leagues. That's not taking me out right now.
It's not going to knock me out. It's going to have to be something more.
Joe Panik and Brandon Crawford is now in the on-deck circle to hit for George Contos. Gene Michie looks like he'll be next for San Francisco. Rocky saw Michie last night. You know what? It's not Michie. That looks like Yusmeira Petit. Fastball's low. What a valuable guy for the Giants Petit is. Spot starter, long reliever. Whenever he gets a start, he throws. He flirts with a no-hitter.
And he had that long scoreless streak last year.
Good pitch. Nice changeup. 1-2 on Panik. Matzik, 6 innings, a run on 5 hits, a walk, 3 strikeouts. He hit a batter. 4-1 Colorado. And on the ground to Tulo. Pats his glove. Sidearm throw. Gets panicked by a couple of steps. 2 gone, and Crawford will come up.
That's one thing Troy has learned is that sidearm throw. So his first few years, everything he'd catch would come over the top like a pitcher and just fire that ball to first base. With age comes wisdom. Realizing you don't have to fire every ball to first base. Just drop down. Take a little stress off it.
Crawford over his last 21 at the plate. Moved his feet. Two and oh.
First time Crawford is pinch hit this season. What a delay as the ball came in from the bullpen, trickling behind home plate.
And Brown goes changeup on the 2-0 delivery, and it's 2-1. Billy Hayes, clean play on the first base coaching line. It's 2-2. 41,188 in the house. Sell out 330 in a row. Two-two, line drive to left. Dickerson's there. 1-2-3 inning for Brooks Brown. We move to the 8th inning with the Rockies ahead of the Giants 4-1. Tulowitzki will lead off against Yusmeiro Petit, who wants tacos. Fans follow @RootSports_RM on Twitter to receive alerts for the Rockies taco special when the Rockies score 7 or more in a game. Tulowitzki, an infield hit in the first, would come around to score. Robbed of a hit his last time up. He's 1 for 3. Backhand stop in the hole by Joaquin Arias took another knock away from Tulo. This is an interesting guy on the hill, Yusmeiro Petit, because he's always the long haul guy, spot starter, and yet he's had moments of absolute brilliance in his career. Couple near no-hitters. He has a big league record. He retired 46 consecutive hitters last year. Think about that for a moment. That's almost 2 full games.
8 appearances, 6 of those were in relief. And you know who broke it up with a double? Jordan Lyles.
Isn't that amazing? And this is slowly hit to second. Panic will get too low.
Well, and for Petit, he's also the guy that went into the starting rotation, taking over for Tim Lincecum.
The previous record was Mark Burley in 09 retired 45 in a row. Jim Barr, a former Giant, had retired 41 in a row. Bobby Jenks in 07 with the White Sox retired 41 in a row. 46 in a row is the big league record. Then you think, okay, was it a guy like Koufax? Was it a guy like Gibson, Seaver? You know, some iconic name in the game. It's Yusmeiro Petit.
And that, as I said, was over 8 appearances. You got to think about Burley. He threw a perfect game in there, so that is going to eat up 27.
Right there.
Right there. And then a couple more games after that. But for Yusmeiro.
And again, it's not 46 in a row without giving up a hit. I mean, that would be remarkable in itself. It's 46 in a row. Nobody reached. Couldn't reach on an error.
Nothing.
Couldn't walk. Couldn't hit a guy. You know, with the injuries the Giants have had, I wonder if at some point in time Petit's not in that rotation again this year. Logan will handle the 8th inning. One and 2 on Morneau. He singled his last time up. 1 for 3 for Justin. Fooled. 2 outs. Rockies have struck out tonight 8 times, which really hasn't happened for them on the road. So most they've struck out on the road in a ball game. The only time they struck out more times this year in a game was Saturday against the Cubs at home. They struck out 10 times.
That was something that was stressed during spring training. Cut down on the Ks.
Well, Nolan got the Rockies off to a tremendous start tonight. He hit a 2-out, 0-2, 3-run home run in the first. Think about the complexion of this game. Lincecum was on the ropes a little bit in that first inning. He's ahead of Arenado with 2 outs. If he puts it down, he ended up settling in pretty much after that point in time. He gave up an unearned run in the second. But if he settles in, it's a completely different evening.
And he had just struck out Justin. And then has Arenado 0-2.
And he threw a pretty good pitch. I mean, if Arenado did not swing at the pitch, it's a ball. He hit a pitch, a slider at his ankles over the left center field wall. 1-1 on Nolan with 2 outs. This game's kind of similar to last night in that the Rockies scored 4 in the first 4 innings, and 3 in the first 4 innings. Didn't do much between the 5th and the 8th. They got another run in the 9th after the leadoff triple by Dickerson. And tonight they scored 4 in the first 2 innings and just 3 base runners since then.
Well, only 3 of the 4 are earned. That 1 in the second was unearned because of the error to lead off the inning by the shortstop.
Close. And Petit keeps on rolling. 1, 2, 3 inning, including a couple of strikeouts. Boone Logan to the mound when we come back. Rockies up 4-1 in the 8th.
In the city by the bay. Colorado up 4-1 as we head to the bottom of the 8th. Boone Logan set to pitch. Well, the Rockies series against San Francisco, this is part of 25 straight games against the National League West. Up next for Colorado will be a 3-game series this weekend in Los Angeles. Here's what you can expect to see. A lot of good pitching. Clayton Kershaw will take the hill on Friday, followed by Zach Greinke and Brandon McCarthy. Of course, you'll see Adrian Gonzalez. The guy can hit. We all know that, hitting 548, I should say, coming into tonight with 5 home runs. He had 3 home runs in one game earlier in the new additions in Jimmy Rollins and Howie Kendrick. Kendrick with a walk-off single winner for the Dodgers yesterday. So, of course, some new faces for them, some old faces gone, but those familiar foes like Adrian Gonzalez will be around this weekend. So we'll see what the Rockies can do against the Dodgers in Los Angeles, guys.
It's always a great test when you play the Dodgers, particularly at Dodger Stadium. But first things first, the Rockies looking for 6 more outs. Boone Logan ahead 0-1 on Aoki. And now it's a 2-strike count on the Giant left fielder. Signed a 1-year deal. Obviously with the Royals last year, saw the Giants from the other side in the World Series.
For Boone Logan, spotless on the season. Did not pitch last night.
Check the box score from Albuquerque tonight. The Isotopes won 7-6. John Gray got the start. He gave up 4 runs in 5 innings. Walked 4, struck out 4. Rex Brothers ended up getting the win, though Rex blew the save. He gave up a couple runs in 1 inning. Jairo Diaz ends up ultimately getting the save. Brandon Barnes hit his 2nd home run of the year for the Isotopes.
Ryan Castile with 3 RBIs.
One, 2. An interesting look. I'm going to buy you one of those next time we come to town.
They're spray painted purple.
I thought you were weird on Halloween. Strike 3 on Aoki. So Aoki He'll say goodbye to his career best 17-game hitting streak. Let's hope so. In the 8th inning, I want to see him up again. That would be good news. Great pitch.
Well,
right
great location. That's what it was. Yeah, 92. That's good. But at the knees, away from the left-hander that steps into the bucket and has an open stance. Now, Boone Logan has faced 14 batters on the season. The only guy to reach was Brandon Crawford, and that was on Monday when he was hit by a pitch.
The Pennant allowed a 146 average coming into tonight. And they've retired their first 4. Slider for a strike on Matt Duffy, who's 0 for 3. Pagan is on deck. 1 out in the 8th inning. The Rockies in charge 4-1. This ball's well hit to left field. This is going to get out of here. Matt Duffy goes deep. That may be his first career home run. It is numero uno. Star at Long Beach State has made it 4-2.
Well, that's a no doubter. When that left the bat, just a question of how far and how many rows.
Off the plate, ball 1 on Pagan. Pagan 5 for his last 7 at the plate. And he's now 6 for his last 8. And the crowd standing because they know the situation. Buster Posey's coming to the plate representing the tying run.
That second hit tonight for Pagan in the same location.
Tonight's T-Mobile game changer is this double play with Posey at the plate. Arenado started a 5-4-3 twist. That would work well here. Way outside, ball 1. In his career, Posey has hit .377 against the Rockies. I think he thought he tied it up in the 8th inning last night, pinch hitting, when he drove Blackman to the wall in center.
It's the first time facing Boone Logan. Axiom, if he's going to beat you, make him try to go the other way. Don't give him anything on the inner third. Even Charlie's playing into the off gap.
Two and one. Good speed at first at Pagan. And again, way inside, 3-1. Justin Maxwell's on deck.
Go to your best pitch. Don't give in just because you're behind 3-1 to Buster. Well, Maxwell's got some power, but this is the guy in Posey that when you come in and face the Giants says he's not going to beat me. I like that. Just a token throw to first. Let Pagan know I'm not going to let you get just a running start on me.
Ball 4. And now they're 2 men on for Maxwell with 1 out.
First 20,000 fans on April 24th will receive a Colorado Rockies tote bag courtesy of MLB Network. Get your tickets for this game against the San Francisco Giants today, April 24th. Scott Oberg, he sprinted out of the dugout. And the good thing here with the bullpens just down the line, it doesn't take you very long to get there.
Yeah, if you're wondering why Walt would get Oberg up second day in the big leagues, Betancourt, who would probably work this inning along with Boone Logan, is down. He pitched 4 of the last 5 ball games. You don't want to ask at this stage of the season Ottavino, who's been busy already, to go get 4 or 5 outs.
No, that's not his role.
And Walt's moved the Troy Hawkins back into more of a 6th, 7th inning role for the time being. So Boone Logan will face Maxwell. 1 for 2 and a walk tonight. Maxwell back in 2012 hit 18 home runs for Houston.
Michael sacrificing his body to block that pitch. About 1.5 feet in front of home plate. And with the slider, it will kick back the opposite way of the way the spin is going. So that ball hit, you're thinking it's going to keep going to the right, but it will go to the left.
2-0. Went slider 2-0, and it's 2-1.
And that's the difference between the minor leagues and the big leagues. Behind in the count 2-0, throwing sliders, throwing off-speed pitches instead of piping a fastball. And Maxwell thought he was getting the express. He got the local.
To third, and boy, that would have been nice had it stayed fair. It did not. 2-2.
But Nolan doing the right thing. Play it out. Caught it, stepped on the bag. Don't take anything for granted.
Two and 2 on Maxwell. 2 on, 1 out in the 8th. Got him. Big pitch by Logan. 2 gone. And that'll bring up Hector Sanchez.
He kept getting the slider, thinking he was going to get another one. Instead, it was the fastball. Not even close, but Maxwell just showed the inexperience in the trying to come up with a big hit.
Not out of the woods yet. Hector Sanchez.
He has power.
Powerful guy.
He's flown out twice to deep left field. His last 2 at bats.
Easy ground ball to short, Tulo to second, and that's all for the Giants. So they threaten, they do get a run on Matt Duffy's first big league big fly. But it's 4-2 Colorado going to the ninth. Book your low fare now at southwest.com. By the Lodge Casino, it's not only your first choice for winning, it's also your first choice for fun. Lodge Casino. And by Mike Shaw Subaru, always our lowest price in sales and service guaranteed. Here in San Francisco, the Rockies leading 4-2 as we go to the top of the ninth inning. Back to Denver we go, a preview of what's to come after the ballgame with Mark Stout. Mark? I like your way of thinking, Mark. Thank you. Corey Dickerson will lead it off against Sergio Romo here in the ninth. Romo's work this year in 3 ball games. See if Dickerson could duplicate what he did in the ninth inning leading off last night. He gave the Rockies an insurance run when he tripled.
Well, first time for Colorado to face Sergio on the season. He was re-signed by the Giants this past offseason to a 2-year contract.
And they've kept that bullpen intact, and you understand why. It's been a big part of the success of the Giants the last 5 years in capturing 3 titles. Dickerson takes a mighty hack, and it's 0-1. Rockies are 7-4. Their last 11 at AT&T Park.
They won the series last year against San Francisco.
It's the first. They won 10 games to 9. It's the first time they've won a series against the Giants, a season series, since 2008. They went 5-5 here in San Francisco a year ago. That's the first time they finished 500 or better since 2008 in San Francisco. I mean, you remember the stories. I mean, for years, the Rockies won twice here was remarkable. Didn't sound good.
Nope.
The new closer for the Rockies is Adam Ottavino.
Last night recorded his 2nd career save. His first one came last year, July 30th, against the Cubs in Chicago.
That was in a 10-inning ball game. He got the save in the 10th inning. One and 2 on Dickerson. McHenry's on deck. The show me fastball, and you know Romo, he throws a slider more than half the time.
A lot of break to that slider. Not the traditional one you think with it just sharp and late.
Hard ground ball, diving stop, and Romo will get there. What a play by Posey. Well, think about Posey when he was at Florida State. He literally played every position on the diamond. He did that in one game against Savannah State. He was originally a shortstop, and he would come in and close games. And then Coach Martin at Florida State said, "You ever thought about catching?" He said he watched him catch 3 pitches behind the plate, and he thought he'd been doing it his whole life.
Well, for Buster, this is 110th start tonight, 123 games at first base with a .993 fielding percentage.
That's a great play. I mean, that keeps...
I thought it was by him.
Yeah.
I thought, and I think Corey thought so, too.
And you got to give Romo credit. He's still in PFP mode from spring training. As soon as the ball's on the ground on the right side, you break, you don't assume. Because if he hesitated for one moment, as hard as Dickerson goes, he wouldn't have gotten there. 1-1. DJ will be next after McHenry. 1 for 3 tonight for Mac. 4-2 Colorado. Just 6 hits tonight. We're talking about how difficult this place has been for the Rockies. Last year they went 5-5, as we were discussing. The year before, 3-7. 2012, 2-7, 11, 2000, 2-7, 4-5 in 2010, 2009, 2-7. If they hang on in the 9th, they'll be 3-0 in 2015. Bullpen's been great for the Giants tonight.
Yeah, this is the Frisbee slider from Romo. It's more horizontal than a vertical break on it.
You know it's a heck of a pitch when the opposition knows it's coming and still typically can't do much with it.
Mariano Rivera. Everybody knew the cutter was coming. You still couldn't hit it. Even if you backed off 3 feet off the plate, you'd still break your back.
Ottavino in the 9th inning. It's the bottom third for the Giants. Joaquin Arias, Joe Panik, and then the pitcher's spot. They have Brandon Belt available, which is a big bat. You just hope when they utilize Belt, nobody's on base.
Well, they don't have anybody to hit for Arias. I mean, that's so you got the right-on-right matchup to start with because they've already used the other 2 left-handers they had on their bench in Blanco and Crawford. Rafael and Noah's come to the on-deck circle.
Good swing from DJ. He's 2 for 3 tonight. He's hit in all 9 ball games this year for the Rockies.
Good eye. Well, those are the pitches when you're hitting 529, you lay off. Oh, I knew it was just off the plate.
You see everything better. Seems that way, doesn't it?
It does.
(3-2). And this is playable in right field for Maxwell. We'll go to the bottom of the 9th inning. The Rockies ahead 4-2. Adam Ottavino will try to close it out. 3 more outs. Let's take a look at our CenturyLink link to what's next. Tomorrow's an off day in Los Angeles for the Rockies. And then the series against the Dodgers will begin with Kyle Kendrick against Clayton Kershaw, Jordan Lyles Saturday against Zach Greinke, and then Eddie Butler on Sunday against Colorado native Brandon McCarthy. Tough threesome for the Dodgers. Here's Joaquin Arias against Ottavino. And that pitch is down. Ball 1. Ottavino, in earning his first save of the year and his second career save yesterday, struck out the side. Joe Panik's on deck.
They made it look pretty easy striking out the side. It didn't matter if it was right, left, throwing the slider.
Ottavino has faced 19 hitters so far in 2015. He has struck 10 of them out. 2-1. And obviously Brandon Belt will hit third. There he is. There's the wicked slider. Forget about that one. 2-2.
Wicked. Just the buckling of the knees. Oh, now that's a strike. Now what do you do if you're a hitter? Just somehow, some way, foul it off.
Rockies have made a defensive change. Blackman slides from center to left. Dickerson comes out. Drew Stubbs goes to center field here in the 9th. There's Drew. Two and 2 on Arias. Got him. 1 out.
And that's what makes Adams so difficult to hit. You see the knee buckling slider, the slider that was away from Arias, and then he comes in with a sinking, running fastball underneath the hands. I mean, this is just a power 4-seam that has late movement.
And lots of late movement. 1 out, Joe Panik 0 for 3 at the plate. The Rockies got 4 runs in the first 2 innings. They've not had a base runner since the 5th inning. 13 in a row retired by that giant bullpen. Actually, the first part of that was Tim Lincecum's work. 1-1 on Panik. Ground ball, foul.
Panik 3 for 28 the last 7 games.
He had the great opening day. He had 3 hits and 5 at bats. Scuffling since then. Hit over 300 last year after his call up.
Asking for the slider down in the dirt.
Ground ball to second. Easy play for DJ. 2 gone in the 9th. And that's huge because now Belt comes up, who has a lot of pop, without the opportunity to run into one and tie the game.
And Belt has power to all fields. It's not just pull power. He's a big old dude that can hit it from foul pole to foul pole.
I don't know if you've heard this phrase before. He's a big Texan.
Yes, I heard that.
Belt, a big star for the Longhorns. 4 for 4 in his career against Ottavino. And he hops out of the way, ball 1.
I'm a little mad at himself for overthrowing that pitch.
Ball and a strike. Adam Ottavino trying to get the 27th out. Rockies won 2-0 and 4-1 in the first two games. That slipped out of his hand, and it's 3-1. Orioles is on deck. Outfield a slight shade toward left. Strike two.
Well received from Michael. He got on top of that ball, so he caught it hooded. So get up on top. Perfect. I mean, that's textbook receiving of the baseball. Steal that pitch.
Here's the 3-2. He's got him. Adam Ottavino strikes out Brandon Belt, and the Rockies have swept the San Francisco Giants at AT&T. 4-2 the final. Nolan Arenado, an early 3-run home run. Yesterday it was his glove. Tonight it was his bat. And once again, the ninth inning belongs to Adam Ottavino. Two perfect innings as the new Rockies closer. Giants haven't been swept in a season-opening series since the Dodgers did it in 2000. The Rockies have swept the defending world champs, and Colorado improves to 7-2. Tyler Matzik gets his first victory of the year. Tim Lincecum takes the loss. And the Rockies have matched their best start after 9 games, 95, 97, 2011, and now 2015. Our Jimmy John's delivery of the game came in the first inning. An 0-2 slider down beneath the knees with 2 outs, and Arenado hit it out. And that would be enough. The Rockies go on to a 4-2 victory. So the Rockies now 7-2, and the world champion Giants fall to 3-7. Handshakes and hugs all around. Plenty to talk about on the Toyota postgame show. We'll get you there now. Mark Stout and Corey Sullivan. Guys, all yours.